Hallelujah. Deep dollar. Up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. How's this working? That's on.
It's working.
It's working fine. Oh, what a lovely morning. Woo! I just feel so blessed. That song, I don't know about you guys, but it lights me up. Singing and praying, walking and talking. Yes, indeedy. I have a I love our community. It is so beautiful, and having so many of you as licensed and unlicensed practitioners is powerful. Because I walked in this morning thinking, how am I going to do a talk on happiness after hearing the news about Buffalo, New York? That a guy would drive, he drove 200 miles, looked on the maps, and obviously a bright person. He figured out the demographics to find the neighborhood that he would target, and then shot and killed 10 people of black race. On purpose, because that's what he wanted to do, a white supremacist. 18 years old. 18 years old. Now, I totally get the idea. They're talking in New York about changing gun laws. Apparently, he had an AR-57, but he drove to Pennsylvania to get a clip so he could have rapid firing on it, and that's not illegal and all that kind of stuff. I get the idea around the gun laws. I get that. But it's interesting to me that we don't want to talk about the source. Gun laws are fine. That's like making sugar laws because I get fat. No. That's not. I need a new diet if I don't want to be fat. We need a new mental diet that includes what we come here to talk about, that includes love, that includes the respect of humankind, that includes the love of the diversity and the inclusion that is necessary for life to exist. I went on a motorcycle ride with Jay Brower this week through the Santa Monica Mountains. We took a walk through a trail later, Johanna and I, that afternoon, because I was just so touched with all the flowers that are in bloom. 21 different varieties of flowers blooming in our Southern California mountains right now, from lady tobacco flowers to, mustard grass and all the rest. And it takes all those flowers to make those hillsides beautiful. It takes all of us to make this life beautiful. Why are we not talking about laws about that? Yeah, okay, I get it. The gun laws, I get it. But let's do our work about the inclusion of love of people, respect of humanity, respect of differences. Our country is in trouble. Our world is in trouble. They don't have enough gas in Southern Africa and in Sub-Saharan Africa where they mine for oil, but they don't have enough refineries to refine it, so people don't have power in their homes. We live such a blessed life, you and I. What can we do? I'm not going to give you the answer because I know the answer is within you, because we're all connected to the divine power that is. And it takes all of our, just like all those different flowers, it takes all of us doing that exact divine thing that is within us to move the planet forward. Start thinking about, what is it? What is it I can do? When you wake up in the middle of the night because your tummy's a little, and you go to the refrigerator and you open it up and you just do the 14-year-old kid thing. I want you to stop and think about people that, first off, don't have a refrigerator to open, Or if they have a refrigerator open, they can't go look around in it. Or maybe they open it up and the light doesn't come on because there's no power. What can we do to change that? What can you do to change that? It is in you. It is in you. In that quiet moment, in the still small voice will scream at you from the loudness of silence that says, this is yours to do, my beloved. And I am so pleased to have you be a creation of me, the divine, to be able to do that work. Are you hearing this? So just look at somebody right now and say, I love you. You are a divine emanation of spirit. And you are doing magnificent things in the world. You are doing magnificent things in the world. We love you. You are a divine emanation of spirit. You are doing magnificent things in the world right now, today. All right. Thank you for wearing the theme pants for today, Terry. Terry's wearing our theme pants today. We're doing happiness. That's great. We relish this. That is a wonderful moment. Shout out to Jan and John. I mean, for the Samaritan Center meal this week, it was roasted chicken with a lemon sauce, served with on a bed of bow tie pasta, with baby LeSueur peas and a wedge of lemon. 31 meals that they served to the Samaritan Center that way. You have to have a maitre d' come out and, it was the first, if you were driving around seeing me this week and you saw homeless people in black ties, it's because they were going to Jan and John's dinner this week. Oh, my goodness. I have to do the Samaritan Center later on this year, and I'm just like, what? I was thinking bologna sandwiches, pea butter, PBJs. That's a tough act to follow, baby. If you would like to participate in the Samaritan meals, you can see Darlene, who happens to be our volunteer of the month, but since she's not here, we're not going to tell her. Darn that internet. Don't listen to that, Darlene. I was joking. You're not really the one. She's at a retreat with John. Yeah, she's at a love retreat with her love buddy. And you're doing December? That's great. I think there's just a couple of months left, but when you see Darlene next time, do that. So this teaching we have, this science of mind, this religious science, this idea of personal responsibility to change the world based on the gifts that are within you is what we come here to learn about, to teach about, to remind ourselves about, because it's so easy to forget. We're built in with forgetter, and then the universe tries to remind us to forget by giving us all these distractions over time, right? But it doesn't stop us from living our vision and our mission. This is it. Here's what we do. Let's do it together. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do. Karen Batten's back. Yeah, great Wednesday night, Karen.
Good morning. So what we do is we see people and things as they really are, with treatment. So please join me in treatment. I invite you to join me in the stillness, remembering that Source is the foundation of all existence. There is no other essence, just Source. And this Source flows through everything. Therefore, it is complete, it is whole, and it is perfect. And with perfection, completeness, and wholeness, it is happy. Happiness is our nature. This nature is given to us by God. And every single moment of every single day, everything is expressing this God. God is expressing as the people in this sanctuary, as the sanctuary itself, as everyone watching on the internet. God is expressing His all. And so that is the reason I know that this service is blessed. It is divine. It is sacred. And I know that we are learning about happiness and love. So I declare this service complete and perfect. And I am so grateful. I celebrate the perfection and the love and the happiness in this service. With absolute certainty, my word is true. I release it. And it is done, and so it is.
And so it is. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet Spirit.
So the reading today is in first person. So please, as I read it, apply it to yourself. Take it in. I know that all the good there is belongs to me. God is good. God is good. I am surrounded by good. I am enveloped in it. I feel its presence. There is nothing in me that can reject the good. My whole inner feeling entertains it and experiences it. My whole expectation is one of joy and pleasurable anticipation. All the old thoughts of fear and doubt and uncertainty have vanished. Within me is the secret place of the Most High. Within me is the presence and the power and the will to know and to do and to be. There is nothing in me that can deny this statement or refuse to accept it. There is nothing in me that can limit me. My memory is one of happiness. My anticipation is one of joy. My experience is one of pleasure. That was from Ernest Holmes' Living the Science of Mind. So our affirmation today is breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. Now let's say it all together. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment.
All right, it's that time. Let's please welcome Darius Lux.
All right, good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good morning.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yes? All right, let's increase that feeling. Yeah.
All right.
can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles that are in my way. One of the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. I can see all obstacles that are in my way. Oh, gone to the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
Hey, Darius.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Weatherman? All right.
So it's time for our gap meditation. The gap is that space between the in-breath and the out-breath. That is the God awareness place. So we'll be meditating for 3 minutes, and then the band will bring you out with their lovely music. So gently close your eyes and enter the gap.
I am in the darkness. I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am.
I know many of you have a meditation practice, but if you don't, I invite you to consider starting one. Thank you.
Come on up again, Darius.
This next song is an original song, and actually this was the first song I sat down and wrote after the Twin Towers fell. I was living in New York at the time, and I sat down with a friend, J.J. Appleton, and we were just like, what are we beginning writing a song after this? And what we agreed was that however bad it seemed, there was more good that was going to come out of it, you know. And to Reverend Steve's point earlier, you know, what happens in Buffalo is it appears our culture is in crisis, but more good's going to come out, right? More good's going to come out. This song's called World Keeps on Turning. Searching for happiness is right, I guess. You know what I mean? Is there deep down inside of us? It's the light in us. We have all we need. So turn on the radio, 'cause we've got so far to go, and the world keeps on turning. Like a river it flows, the good and the bad it comes and goes. The world keeps on turning, and with it our love grows. On and on and on. Be in this moment before it's gone. We are another day goes by. We don't even try to ask how or why. What it means to really live this life, we make a difference, or just lose our innocence. So turn on every radio, 'cause we've got far to go, and the world keeps on turning, and like a river it flows. Switch up those voices in your head. Don't be scared, just stop in. Be glad you're alive in. Right here, right now, baby. The world keeps on turning like a
Beautiful
Thank you.
song. Thank you, Darius. Lovely. Yeah, that's a challenging time to write a song, man. And you came off. You worked it. You worked it. That pup. Wow. That's a happy dog right there, right?
I just want to acknowledge our bass player today, Randy Landis, right?
Yes.
Who's sitting in for John Bellis, and he's doing sound. He didn't know.
I know.
He was going to have to do sound.
Yeah. That's beautiful. You're working it, babe. Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime. That's beautiful. We are happy to have you here with our happy dog. Oh, with Relish, please. Because, happiness is something that we get to relish. And I like the idea of relish in it also because, it's not just a condiment. Happiness is not just a condiment of life. It's something that we must apply to our lives. So the relish really worked for me. With relish, please, a little happiness. And the other thing that worked for me was that Thich Nhat Hanh quote. The affirmation today is really from Thich Nhat Hanh. And maybe you've heard it before, but it's really great. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. And there's something about the calm that really works. There's such value to calm because calm creates a moment for developing perspective, for seeing the bigger picture, for standing in a moment of mindfulness. And when I dwell in this present moment, and I look out at all of you on a clear day where happiness grows, and hearing these beautiful songs, and knowing that Randy here is dumped in and doing sound and bass, and all the new faces and the old faces, and Dr. Susan is here today, right? Right now, everything is all right. When we can calm ourselves and be in that present moment, we can open the door to our happiness. This calm feeling supports an idea of contentment. It opens us up for an appreciation and to sit in the space where there's enoughness. We're always trying to get more. But enough is enough. Enoughness is kind of underrated and really cool. I have enough of all that I need in this moment. And because we are connected to a divine power, an infinite presence that has everything, I just love the idea of infinity. What a great thing infinity is, because everything's in it, including the pain and the suffering that people are going through in Buffalo, but also the love and the support of an entire nation, of an entire world that's crying their hearts out in sympathies and condolences for what they're going through. To sit in a moment of satisfaction, to know that when I live in the understanding that there is an infinite supply of love, an infinite supply of good, an infinite supply of possibilities and ideas to solve the issues and concerns of the world, I can go, yeah, I can apply a little relish. I could put a little happiness on that moment and appreciate that just a little bit more. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. He says that as soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. Joy and ease. This joy and ease moment, it gives us the ability to express and to experience the present opportunities. It gives us the opportunity to experience prosperity, to experience satisfaction, to live in a place of success in our lives. And the beautiful thing is, you and I control that feeling. We control it. It's up to us. It's in our minds. We control our minds, and we get to control how we use our minds. We can spin off in all kinds of different directions, but then we can breathe in and calm the body. Breathe out and smile. Dwell in this present moment and know that it is a wondrous moment. We can relish that feeling and put a little happiness on our life. And happiness is an interesting thing. Happiness is well, like if you were trying to explain, okay, aliens come down from wherever they come down from, which I wish they would hurry up and do, because if they did, all of us, all these differences, they would just be gone. You've seen the alien movies. Whenever the aliens come, the whole world comes together. The aliens are here. Come on, we need you now. You know? But if they got here, if they all showed up, and we're out having a beer with one of them, and we say, "Are you feeling happy?" He goes, "Happy? What's that?" "Well, happiness, it's like looking at a baby that smiles. It's like watching a sunset. It's like you have to go with all these things of what happiness is like. It's like trying to explain the color yellow to somebody who's never seen the color yellow. Well, it's like a school bus. It's like the light between the red and the green on the traffic signal. I mean, you got to come up with. It's like Reverend Stephen's shirt today. You got to come up with. You have to figure out a way to describe it because it doesn't really easily show up, you know? And this is a challenge with happiness. All the folks that study happiness, they just go, because they just get all confused about it. Brene Brown, who we absolutely love, right? Brene Brown? I mean, come on, she's dynamite. She describes happiness as pleasure from the environment and pleasure that you receive from the environment and pleasures that you receive from circumstances in life, right? It's a subjective experience of a psychological state. That's what the researchers called it, a subjective experience of a psychological state. They always have these disagreements, though. Most of the disagreements about what happiness is are semantic disagreements. They're trying to think, well, it's this, or it's that, or it's this, or it's that. But rarely do they talk about whether it's the nature of this or that. But in some ways, that's where happiness resides. It's in the nature of what is happening in our lives, whether it's scientific or philosophical. I love this book, Stumbling on Happiness. A guy named Daniel Gilbert wrote this book, Stumbling on Happiness. And he spends tons of pages with all of his research, and then he gets to happiness and he boils it down to this. Happiness is the you know what I mean feeling. Happiness is the you know what I mean feeling. That means there's an individualized happiness description for each and every one of us here. But you know what I mean when you talk about it. Happiness is looking at Terry's pants. You know? That's happiness. And the great thing about happiness is everybody wants it. Everybody wants happiness. And most of our wants are really designed to bring us to happiness. They're the means to get to happiness. If I could only have that, I'll be happy. When I get here, I'll be happy. Once I attain that, I'll be happy. We're chasing it like crazy. Happiness is something we're always looking for. We're looking for that feel-good experience all the time. In fact, Daniel Gilbert says, and I love this, he says that if there has ever been a group of human beings who prefer despair to delight, frustration to satisfaction, pain to pleasure, they must be very good at hiding because no one has ever seen them. We're all out here chasing this nebulous feeling called happiness. And because of that, there's another scientific term called collective ecstasy, where we all want to experience joy and share joy. That's why we all crowd around to see a comedian together. And we all come here to listen to great music and maybe even an inspiring talk if it could happen. Come on, God, bring it, you know? But that's, we join together. We join together like the concert in the parking lot to celebrate Dr. Susan. We join together to have this joining collective ecstasy moment, you see, and we share it with others. You know, Dolly Parton wrote that great song, I will always love you. I will always love you. Yeah. Right? So one day, Kevin Costner called her and said, I'm making a movie, and I'd like to use your song. And she says, oh, okay. That's cool. I like you. I like the song. I'll give it to you. Great. Nothing happened for over a year. A couple years go by. And one day she's driving her car back home from Brentwood, Cadillac, top down, jamming her stereo. And she hears a little spoken word at the beginning of a song. And she's listening. And it's Whitney Houston's version of the song. You know how she starts out singing and song just builds and builds. Dolly had to pull the car over to the side of the road, because it was just such a joyful experience. Filled her with so much happiness to hear her song produced that way. And one of the things in the song is it talks about joy and happiness. I will always love you. I will always support your joy and your happiness. They understood that they're actually two different things. We'll talk about that in a moment. Part 2 of the story is the joy and happiness. But part 1 of the story is how she felt such pleasure in sharing that song and then having that song be shared with the world for that collective ecstasy moment. You see, songs and dance and laughter, they are totally woven into our culture in so many ways that sometimes we forget the value of them, how important they are to us, and we forget the value of the means of how they're delivered to us, the people that bring them to us. We don't always celebrate them the way that we possibly could. We block ourselves sometimes from the experience of the song. It's just, oh, I've heard that before. It's just in the background. It's just like background noise, and we're not actually listening to the lyrics sometimes. We're not appreciating that moment. We're not relishing the opportunity to express our happiness. It's just sort of taking up space in our brains. Dwell in the present moment and allow whatever happens in your present moment to fill you with all the intention that's behind the moment. This guy spends a lot of time writing songs. These guys spend a lot, and gal, spend a lot of time creating these songs. And it's wonderful. I see here in this room where people are elevating off of their seats with their eyes closed, listening to this wonderful music, really valuing and appreciating it. But do we do that with all the moments of our day? Do we relish all the moments of our day and how those moments can bring us that state of happiness and joy? And if you don't worry, it's only temporary. It cannot be permanently done. There's nothing that can block this divine emotion from coming forth. This happiness thing, it's a divine emotion. It starts out in the story of Genesis. What did God say at the end of every day of creation? It was good and very good. It was so good that on the seventh day, he just had to kick back and have a God-type beer and watch the day go by, you know? The Sabbath day. Relish your happy moments. Sing in the shower. Sing with the windows down in the car. There was a lady in her car the other day. I was listening to this. She was playing some serious rock and roll. Serious rock and roll. And I was like, man, that car is blasting. I looked over at it. She must have been like Flo's age. No offense, Flo, but we know that you carry wisdom with your 90 years. And we love that. And this woman clearly was. And she was air guitaring and playing her steering wheel. And I was like, yes, relish that moment. That's how we should live our lives. With that kind of joy, with that kind of experience. Dance like nobody's ever, dance like you're in heaven, like nobody's watching. In fact, that's another Brene Brown story that she tells. I love this. She was at the store with her daughter. They had just finished soccer practice or whatever. And so there are a lot of other soccer moms in this store. And I don't know, I've never been a soccer mom. I don't think I'm ever going to be a soccer mom. But I understand there can be some competition among those moms. And so here she is in the store, and her little daughter is doing the robot dance in the store, and the other soccer moms are looking over at her like, and Brene Brown in that moment saw the joy on her daughter's face doing the robot dance, and she walked over to her and says, and you can't forget, you need a little scarecrow in that too, and started doing the scarecrow dance, relishing the moment of joy, you know. How often do we miss the opportunity to really experience this moment because, well, I'm too old for that. Or that's going to look funny. Or I shouldn't do, all the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Relish the moment. Take out your knife of life and spread a little happiness on that moment, you know? Well. No, you don't. Jen said you want to see me dance. No, you don't. I was such a, okay, tangent, set the timer, 30 seconds. So I was such a bad dancer growing up. I'm such a bad dancer growing up. It was like renowned in my family how bad I was dancing. And I went to this small college. I went to the first dance they had. And I danced with this girl, Cynthia Wright. You know, they always have first and last names when they're special in your life, right? And she says, you're such a good dancer. I called my mother that night. I said, Mom, I met this girl. She said I was a good dancer. My mother says, she probably just wants something from you. What? I am a good dancer, sort of. Anyway, did the timer run out on that tangent? I think it did. Now, here's the thing about these happy, joyful moments. They have a shelf life. They have a short shelf life. The triumph of evolution is, of course, that we can accept or we can reject happiness. And remember, I said part two, the part 2 of the Dolly Parton story about joy and happiness is, in the wisdom of that song, they separated the two feelings. They came up with, they didn't say happiness only, joy only. They are two different things. See, joy is a sudden compulsion, a sudden connection to a sublime energy. You know, you feel joy. It's like, ooh, that joyful sunshine. But then the happiness, that takes a little effort, right? It took effort for Brene Brown to think, I'm going to go over there and support my daughter and dance a scarecrow dance with her little robot dance. That takes a little practice. It takes practice to step into, which Dee helped me with this morning, thank you so much, to step into that space of happiness when you're confronted with the heartbreak of something that happens in Buffalo. It takes practice to do that sort, to step into that. So and the thing about that kind of happiness and practicing that is it becomes a lasting state. See, joy kind of whoop, whoop, but the happiness can last. But it lasts as a result of us doing the work that is necessary to bring that sense of control into our lives. Robert Emmons, he's the king of gratitude. He's at the University of somewhere, and he studies a whole bunch of somewhat. And he says, positive emotions wear off quickly. Our emotional systems like newness. They like novelty. They like change. They like change. You know, you buy the new house, and it's so exciting. And about a year later, this old house. You know, you get the new car, it's so lovely, and then the new car wears off, the new car smell wears off, and you're going back to the store and you say, can you spray that new car smell in it so I can have that feeling again? You know, newness is you get married and your spouse is delightful, and after 5 or 6 years or 10 years, or I don't know, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it does happen. You can figure it out for yourself. I know husbands are sitting here right now going, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to say a word. Wives are looking at husbands going, you better still be happy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. You know, there was this, there's this puppy. There's this puppy, and usually puppies, they chase their tail. This puppy's just chasing its tail. It's just going for it. And the older dog's going, what are you doing? He says, I'm chasing my tail because it makes me happy. He says, well, why are you doing that? When I was a young pup, I used to do that too, but then I realized that my tail is always with me, and I don't need to chase it. I'm always carrying it behind me. Your happiness is like that. You don't have to chase it. It's always going along. It's right there behind you, ready for you to just deal with it, bring it into your experience. And in order to experience this thing at its full force, at its full range, you have to realize it's more than a state. Like I said, it's a practice. And that means you have to try at it, you fail, and you try again, you fail, and you try again. You make it a practice. It's just like our spiritual practices. You meditate for 3 or 4 days in a row, and you think, I got this, and then you stop for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're kicking your dog, and you go, oh, what happened to me? You stop meditating. You go back into meditating, things calm down again. You know? Remember, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in what moment? In what moment? The present moment. The present moment. It is a wonderful moment. Yeah. Thich Nhat Hanh, who wrote that, also says, there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. There's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. And it's all about thought. We spend so much time on our screens. And now your phone, I don't know if your phone's doing this. Is that an Apple upgrade? Does Android do the same thing? And now, once a week, a little thing comes up. This is how much screen time you had last week. Your screen time's up 32%. I don't need to see that. Perhaps, put it down a little bit and do a little dancing a little bit, do a little singing a little bit, do a little gardening, do a little nature. Become a participant in life instead of a spectator in life. And as we do that, our gratitude and our happiness will increase and will flow. Dr. Holmes tells us, it is done unto you as you believe. He quotes Jesus when he says that. It is done unto you as you believe. What a powerful word, as. That little word, as. What a powerful word. Because, you see, as we relish our full life, life responds to our belief, but the as you believe, it also responds to our manner of believing. How long we believe it, how deeply we believe in that thing. That's why Dr. Holmes tells us here, the barriers between you and your greater good are not barriers in themselves, they are things in thought. Things in thought. Again, we control our thoughts, Maybe not the first thought. The first thought may not be a God thought, so you think, but your second thought clearly can be. Because your second thought comes from that space of grounding yourself in that present moment, to relish that moment with joy and gratitude and go into that space of lasting happiness. Because what you express, you experience. And what you experience, you are. Experience, you are. The Hopis have a saying. They say, watch me dance and you see my heart. Watch me dance and you watch my heart. And Mark Twain says we should dance like nobody's watching, sing like nobody's listening, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. And that's what you get to do when you just take out your God knife and spread a little relish of joy and happiness on your life, a little appreciation. And so it is. So let's do a meditative moment. First, actually take in a nice deep breath. Here we go. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. Ooh, that felt like a gong moment. Okay. It's now time for our revealing prayer. We haven't done this in a couple of weeks. I haven't heard your voices. I want to hear your voices. We're going to do a prayer. We're going to can we do a chamber prayer? Have you ever done a chamber prayer? Do you know what a chamber prayer is? A chamber prayer is something that practitioners do at conferences. And I believe that we are all practitioners. And we're religious scientists, so we're taking experiments. Let's do an experiment. There are 5 steps to treatment. The first one is God is all there is. That's the realization, the recognition step. The unification is the second step. I am one with God. All right? I'm unified with God. Then there's the realization, the thing you want, the thing you're calling forth in your life, the thing you're recognizing that's out there in the infinity world that it needs to become a part of your experience. You say thank you for that, and then you let it go. All right? Now, the happiness part. Remember, sing like nobody's listening, dance like nobody's watching, live like you're on heaven and earth, right? So don't worry about who's sitting next to you thinking, what are they doing? This is not that. Plus, this is a comfortable space. We're all here together. We love each other. So, in this moment, we're all going to pray out loud our treatment, our revealing treatment together at the same time. Are you ready? Let's begin. So, I'm knowing the divine presence, that is me, is right here connected with all that is. And it is in this moment that I bring forth this idea of wholeness into my life. I know that everything that is necessary for the healing of the planet is taking place right now. Everything that's necessary for the most joyous experience of life for every person here is taking place right now. I'm so grateful for this knowledge. I unify with this knowledge and hold it in my heart as I release it into the infinite law that says yes. And so it is. Wow. That was a powerful prayer. Y'all are awesome practitioners. Awesome practitioners. Okay. That's why we're here. We are here. All right, here's how we also can support not just our world, like we just did with that prayer, but our community through these various ways. The website, text to give at the 805-600-5677 number. You can also call the office and call Joe at any time, and he will be happy to take your your request. He'll also take your prayer request and send it out to practitioners if you call the office for that as well, okay? Now, we have an affirmation of abundance that we all do here together. Here it is. It's had a slight change in it. It's in there now so you can see it. Here we go. Divine love, it's doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL, Simi Valley, and the world now. Divine love is victorious. Here are your announcements for the week.
so grateful for the generosity of CSL See So grateful for the divine love that is victorious and expressed in this sanctuary. May this offering expand, bless the world, and make it a better place. And so it is.
So it is.
All right, one more from Mr. Lux.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
With the most appropriate song ever.
All right, thank you for your insights, Reverend Stephen.
Thank you, Darius, for being here.
I play a lot of centers, and you're a rare gem. And I think these guys know that. On the seventh day, God drank a God-type beer. Who says that? And where can I get one? Talking to Happiness, this is an original song. This is called The Happy Song. I've been to Paris, seen the Eiffel Tower, search for beauty in every flower, looking for love on the streets of Rome, with nothing but my backpack on. Walking so many streets, it was cool for a while, helped me learn how to smile. Now I'm happy in the skin I'm in. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been, I've been up and down, lost and found myself. Happy in the skin that I'm in. Swam with the dolphins in the sea. I've never felt so wild and free. I even flew to the city of sin, spent my last dollar trying to win. All the things that I've seen and the journey within, there's no place like being happy in the skin I'm in. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been up and down, lost and found myself. Happy in the skin that I'm in. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, oh, ooh, oh, 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 yeah. Happy in the skin I'm in. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been up and down, lost and found myself. Happy in the skin that I'm in. Happy in the skin I'm in. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been up and down, lost and found myself. Happy in the skin that I'm in.
Yeah. I'm happy in that skin. Nice.
So much, guys.
Great song. Darius Lux, Cherie Deeds, all-purpose band, Randy, and Steve. Thank you. Ron, thank you so much for your stage work today. We've got Mona and who else was on the team today? And Schaefer's today on our service team.
Yay.
Dee's in the back doing the slides and all kinds of other great stuff for us. Gregory up in the booth, thank you so much. I think I saw Costa also working as a service team person today. Awesome, thank you. Okay, shout out to Joe's doing everything and everywhere. You can't see him everywhere, so we're loving that. Great to have Dr. Susan back in the house. Yes, indeed. And Karen will be available for prayer after service. She'll be standing right underneath the exit sign right over there. Okay, I think I got just about everything in, except I do want to remind you that next week we'll be having our annual meeting. We'll be electing new trustees. Some of our trustees extended their terms during COVID, so we're going to be electing 3 new trustees instead of 2 like we normally would. And Gregory, who also would have been coming off the board, has decided to stay on for 1 more term as our board president. We're grateful for that. Thank you. I think he decided. He may have been voluntold. He may have been voluntold.
Him now. It's done.
He may have been voluntold. Well, you all heard him and you saw him nod. He nodded when I said that.
Nodded up there.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great. But please do be here for the annual meeting. We'll do that and talk about the business of the center. And this is a big important year for us because our lease is up this year. We got some decisions to make around that. We'll start talking about that a little bit as well. So definitely for that. Let's all stand and do our closing benediction. And then we'll sing. Okay, here we are. Where are we? At home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, oh love be with you, oh love be with you. Together, hand in hand, see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. Whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you. Oh, love be with you. Oh, love be with you. Oh, love be with you. Go for it, baby. Love be with you.
Okay, poetry on Wednesday night. Poetry on Wednesday night. Come on out.
All I know is that I fell in love with you. day.